Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Loving these young cellists coming in. Killing it. This is great. Yeah. Super. Mm-hmm. 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 I guess I should put on my headphones so I can hear y'all. Oh, there we go.
It's open to.
Okay. Today's more question and answer. I want to know what you've always wondered about the cello. It could be about how to do things. It could be about how to practice. It could be, I'm kind of curious about like what you all are thinking about. We'll get tuned and everything. We'll try, little scales and stuff. Well, but I'm kind of curious to know what you all been thinking about. If you've maybe written any music. And if you're creating things as well. It's great to see you all. This is really fun. Raising a glass to you all for keeping up the cello and keeping up the sounds and keeping up the art making. So turn on your microphones. I want to hear everybody. I notice everybody's microphones are off. And I want to hear what everybody's wondering about with the cello. Like, it might be history. Like, like why are the strings tuned the way they are, or whatever? Where do cellos come from? Yeah. Okay. What? I heard somebody said they had a stupid question. I want a stupid question. Anybody? I want.
Audio and then join the video, and it's like just been going like this.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Yeah. By all means, ask again. I'll wait. Anything. Why are they brown? Why are cellos brown? Yeah. What's the thinking there? Come on, help me out, people. I want some questions.
What part of your thumb should touch the string when you're going to the sixth position?
Ah, okay. What part of my thumb should touch? Is that the question? Yes. So in sixth position, everyone, that is on the A string. My first finger is on the G, and so that's one of the middle positions before the thumb comes up, typically. Okay. And so here is what sixth position looks like, and I'm gonna put here's a G, here's a G sharp. And here's the close-up. My thumb is still hanging out over here. Now, I have pretty big hands. And so if your hands don't quite reach, on a fifth, sixth, or seventh position where the thumb still sort of stays behind, then what I do is I bring the thumb sort of around a little bit to reach. I do that a little bit on seventh position because of where my hands are. But as you can see, this thumb just sort of slides around like that, and I remember I remember how that feels, and you'll remember that distance too as you learn pieces. You'll say, oh, that's that note, or that's this note, all based upon the thumb. Now, when do I decide to bring my thumb up? That depends on the music. Like, for instance, sometimes I may need to have my thumb up way over here. There might be something where I'm playing an octave, and I'm playing an octave right here and right there, And in which case my thumb has to be way up here. And look at my crazy elbow position. I have to get this up all the way over here in order to play the C, the D and the D on the C string. So sometimes the thumb is up. But in answer to your question about sixth position, I do like to have my thumb back, and then sometimes it slides around just a little bit like that. Okay. Good question. That was great. Who else in their mind had a question like that? They were like, oh, you know, I wonder. Okay. How about some more questions?
Who invented the cello?
Oh, well, the cello is part of the violin family, and the violins came from the Middle East. And the first violins came through the Middle East. They're very prevalent in the Middle East and in India, and they came through Africa into Spain. And and so that instrument style is related to instruments like an oud. I wonder if I can pull up. I'll sort of screen share a few little things. Let's see here. And early violins, but they do come from Africa, and they went up through Spain and southern France, and then there were the most famous builders were in Italy later on in Cremona, and it's like the Stradivari family and the Montagnana family and the Amati family. And they were, you know, they'd teach their kids how to make the instruments, and then eventually the kids would get better, and the kids would get better. And just like you guys are better at like computer stuff than your parents are, same thing happened with the violin making families. And so by about the third generation, the best violin makers were there, and they were learning from their parents from all those generations. So it kind of collected in Italy, perhaps because of all the trading that happened in Italy between other places. But originally the instruments did come through Moorish Spain with the Arab influence into Spain, and that's where we get guitars and things like that. So yeah, good. Let me show you an early. I'm going to screen share in just a moment. The precursor to the cello. And I'll show you just a little video too. Here we go, viola da gamba. Okay, and I'm going to show, oh, here's a good one. I think this will be good. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna screen share this thing. Oops. Okay, and we're screen sharing this channel, and let's see here. I'm going to share the audio. Yep, and optimize screen share for video clip. We'll try that. All right, here we go. And I'm going to share this video. Okay, so here is a viola da gamba, and it's about a 5-minute video. Can you still see it?
The cello is the bass member of the violin family, and like the violin and viola, it has a distinctive shape. The shoulders come directly into the neck at basically right angles, and the back and the belly are arched.
Just checking. Can everybody see the video?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to keep
The
it going.
strings are tuned in fifths, like on the violin and viola. The lowest note is C, and then G, D, and A.
Now you'll notice that we all have a much higher tuning. That's the modern tuning. Yeah, you can play your open Cs. And did you notice that when he plucked the notes, they were lower? That is a Baroque tuning that he's got there. Okay, so so that's a lower. They play on a lower pitch level. So I'm gonna keep playing.
Unlike the violin and viola, the cello is held vertically, and originally it was held on the legs without the support of an end pin. It was about 1890 that the end pin came into use, and there would be a little peg sticking out here, and it would be kind of stuck in the floor for support. The method of holding the bow overhand allows a cellist.
Okay, everybody look at this bow. This is a Baroque bow. Notice how it bends the opposite direction from your French style bows, okay? Yeah, and he's also holding it in the middle for the sound and the balance of the bow. But notice how the bow arcs out from how we usually have a French style bow.
To make very strong accents. The viola da gamba is the cousin of the violin.
Now, isn't that crazy? Let's count those strings, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strings on that thing. Look at that thing. And you'll notice that it has frets, okay? And those frets are actually little strings that they tie on really tight, and that they can sort of move them around, okay?
And it has also a very distinct shape. Usually the shoulders slope upward toward the neck rather than coming in at right angles like on the violin and cello. The belly is arched, but the back is usually flat. Oftentimes the ribs of the instrument are flush with the front and the back, whereas on the violin there's usually a little overhang here. The viola da gamba has many more strings than the violin does. The violin and cello have 4 strings, and viols have anywhere from 5 to 7. The tuning is in fourths. We have D on the top, A, E, with a third in the middle to C, then G, D, and this instrument has an even lower string, the A.
Here's my
Like
A.
the guitar and lute,
And then you've
the
got
viola
low
da
A.
gamba has frets. These frets are made out of usually old strings that are tied on by hand to the neck and can be adjusted for varying tuning systems. The biggest difference in playing technique from the violin to the viola da gamba is the way the bow is held. And you can see that I actually put my fingers directly on the bow hair, holding it underhand so that my hand is looking upward. And I use my fingers to manipulate the hair this way. So the cello is excellent for making strong accents, but the viola da gamba doesn't really do that as well. It's usually a much softer sound, and it's very good at making fine articulations. Much of the literature written for the viola da gamba is very virtuosic, with lots of chords, and the frets facilitate playing in tune when you're doing chords.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna pull that out. Come on, pause it. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna go back to Zoom. There we go. And to the class. So what did you think of that crazy instrument? Was that awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's called a viola da gamba, literally violin of the leg. Gamba in Italian is of the leg. And so we kind of think of that as well. What makes a cello, a violoncello, is that it's thicker here. As you notice, when you've been sitting in class, you think, why are the violas and the violins thinner? Those are the violino family, and this is part of the violon family. Okay, and there were originally a whole lot more violons of different sizes, but this is the one that stuck. And as you can see from that viola da gamba, some of them have just 6 strings, some 7, and they're tuned differently depending on the pieces. But they sort of are related, aren't they? What instrument is closest to the viola da gamba that you've seen?
Either a 12 guitar.
Say that again, Cole.
6-string or possibly a 12-string guitar.
Yeah, like a guitar. Exactly. It felt like a guitar with the frets. And the tunings were the same as guitar, in fourths with a third in the middle. That's what guitars definitely have. Notice the shape was like a bass, like a miniature bass, right? I've only played a viola da gamba a few times in my life, strangely, and they're kind of fun. They don't make quite as big a sound as a cello, but you might, if you continue and study music and study cello, like viola da gamba is a great instrument to also play and play Baroque music with. And we have one of the best Baroque ensembles here in Seattle called the Seattle Baroque Orchestra, and they have a couple of excellent viola da gamba players who perform. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, I'll try to make some things available. But nobody's doing concerts right now during the pandemic. But once concerts happen again, there will be those, an explosion of concerts that you can see. More questions before we start playing? Anybody have, like? Any other questions? Okay, well, if you think of some, have some ready for tomorrow. Let's get tuned, everybody. And after hearing that viola da gamba player and the Baroque cellist, by the way, that was a Baroque cello. And so we're tuned to what's called an A440. And so here is that A. Great. Super. Outstanding. G's. Oh, I hear a G that's just a little bit low. Let's see, who's yeah, good. There's some good G's. It's okay if you got a low one. We just want to fix it. There we go. And C's. Yeah. I used to tune by tuning fifths apart. So I'd listen for the beat in between the notes and then this, and I'd try and get it exactly straight. Perfect fifths. But then I discovered that each fifth was a little bit wider, so that as I was going from a tuning A down a fifth, it got a little wider, down a fifth to the G, it got a little wider still, and down a fifth to the C, then my C was no longer in tune with the piano over here or with anyone else. And so, but they were perfectly in tune with each other, and it really caused me a lot of like confusion. And so nowadays with devices and smartphones, we all have tuners, and I find that I play much more in tune because I'm tuning the C directly to what a C should be in what's called our equal tempered tuning, where we keep all the notes equally distant apart so that we can play in any key. Okay, so everybody's tuned there. Let's go directly to the D minor scale. There we go with this one. Ready? I'm going to share the screen. And let's play. Oh, come now. I want that one. There we go. All right, here's the shared screen. Boom. All right, we're gonna go, here's the D minor scale for the week. All right, we're gonna start right over here. First finger on the C string. Here we go, and E. Good, F. Open G. First finger A. Good. Extend second finger B. C sharp extended for D. Regular E. First finger. F second finger. Good. G for open A. B1. C sharp 3.
Can't see the screen.
Oh, can't see the screen. Can you see?
You
Can
can't
you
see me.
You can't see the music?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm so glad you said that. Let me make sure that I'm sharing the right screen. Boop, 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 boop. Oops. Thanks for stopping me, everybody. So, here are. Thanks for everybody. Let's do that again. So here I'm going to share the screen, ideally right there. All right. Share. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking at music?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that different from before?
No.
Okay. And you can see the music right there with the music over here with my cursor.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, it's fantastic. All right, let's do this again, and we'll get everybody up on these on the scale. Ready? And low D. E. F. Good. G. A. Extended B. C sharp. Yeah. D. E. Second finger F. Now let's make sure that's a nice low F. It'll sound like this. Low. Good. G. With finger A. B natural, regular. Good. C sharp. D. Now, fourth position E, first finger. F natural, 2. Yeah, let's make sure that's a nice 2. Second finger. Good. Next, E, G, first finger. This is the 6th position. Now for this G, let's hold this for a second. Your thumb should be back on the fingerboard. I mean, excuse me, not on the fingerboard, on the neck. Good. A, 2. That's the second finger. A. Good. Now B natural. And C sharp. Second line. And D. And everybody's coming down like this. Good job. Now back down, C natural. B flat. A. F. E. D. 4. 2, C. B flat. Ooh, let's make a nice low B flat. Yeah, B flat. Good. Open A. Good. Fourth finger G. F2. E1. D open. C4. Good. B flat 2. Good. A1. G open. Good. F4. E3. D2 or D1. Yeah. Oh, good. Everybody, somebody went down to C. I love it. I love it. Okay, coming back to the class. All right. So now let's take a look at what we just did. Everybody start on the 4th finger D on the A string. Good. Now let's go up to the E, 4th position, and my thumb is right in the corner. Okay, we have all the time in the world to get there. Yeah. Now let's go to 2nd finger, F. And you can wiggle the other fingers around. That's totally cool. Next, let's go to G. Yep, A. 2nd finger. Now, here's the part where I bring my thumb up. I'm leaving the middle positions, neck positions, and I'm going into a thumb position. Here we go, ready? Here's this B, and my thumb is gonna just rest down here on the string next to my 1st finger. So bring it right over here to the 1st finger. And it's this B. Yep. And then take your left arm and flap it around like you're a bird. Yeah. Now C sharp, 2nd finger. Now flap that arm around like you're a bird. I'm talking to you. Yeah, that's right. And 3rd finger D. Good. Now, just for fun, up here on this 3rd finger, let's make a really wide vibrato like this. Yeah. In fact, let's make a really scared ghost sound. Now let's go back to this D. You can find it. My thumb is on the fingerboard. All 3 fingers are down. And it's going to sound like this. Keep going higher. Good job, everybody. Now let's go back down. C natural. 2nd finger. Yeah, and it's going to sound like this. Then B flat. Somebody's got a B flat. Good. Now let's do a harmonic A. I'm just touching the string with my thumb. Now 4th finger G, 4th position. 2nd finger F, 4th position. Just 2. E, 1. Yep. Now take your arm and sort of flap that one around too. Good. Now we're in the 4th position, or 1st position, D. Yeah. Now, here's one thing that I want to try with you all. Can you take your 2nd finger, put it on a D? Okay. Yeah. You're in 2nd position. And what I'd like you to do is slide all the way up to a D 1 octave higher. Watch this. Ready, everybody? And here's the D. And now slide up. And we're going to find the same note. Keep going, Lucy. Higher, Lucy. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the note. Now back down. Ready, everybody? And. Let's do it again. Ready? And. And now we got this note. Keep going higher if you don't got that. And then back down. Yeah. And we can test it. Test it with your open D to make sure you got a good D. Now we're going to slide back up. Ready, everybody? And go. 2nd finger. Yeah. And back down. Cool. And theoretically, you could get fast at it and be able to play it like on any note. You can go an octave higher, and then those of you who are really crazy, you could go 2 octaves.
I'm confused on where it is when we go from the D here and then up here. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. You have to guess. It's a big guess. I'm guessing too. What I'm doing is I'm listening for that particular note, and then I'm trying to match it in my head with that particular note. And so what I do is I have to take my thumb up. That's a very good question, by the way. I'm glad you asked it. Is that I have to use my brain. I have to use my what's called my inner ear to listen for when that D matches to the D I was just playing. So here is, am I there yet? Raise your hand when I get there. Yeah, you all know. You all raised your hand and you all know. Okay? And so let's all do that. Ready? Here. Ready and. Yep. And then match that pitch up high. Yes. Now let's go back down. Ready? Yeah. There we go. And again, up. Uh-huh. And back down. Now, those of you who are really, really feeling gutsy, this is like jumping off. This is like jumping off like a big rock or something. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go 2 octaves higher, and we're gonna go pretty much to the end of the fingerboard, and it's gonna be that D that's way above what I can sing. Everybody, let's go. Ready? And it's gonna still sound like that. And you're at the end of the fingerboard. Now back down. Uh-huh. Here we go. Ready? Let's do it again. Yeah. I'm hearing some good glissando. Yes. You can drive your siblings and your parents crazy for the rest of the day doing this stuff. From any note you want, you can go an octave and 2 octaves, okay? So try that out, where you're going up an octave and then up another octave, all on the same string. Have fun, everybody. All right, lots of cello. Have a good one. I'm gonna post it to YouTube, and you can see all the same stuff. I've got to mark that we'd use somebody else's YouTube video, and that's their property. So it'll still be public, but I don't think we'll get a takedown notice. But search for that. I'll put the date on it, and you can see all these fun videos on YouTube. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.